My thought, as we turned off the cameras, my first thought was, shall we also talk from within darkness,
Mm.
from the vision of,
We just,
yeah.
well, we do seem to have the best combos when we do that. Mm. So, what do you think we should just stick with the voice recordings kind of?
Maybe not now, as we are already here within this context, but it's still much more than the voice recording when we intently
Mm.
enter this space of darkness within.
Mm.
Well, it can be with the video, it can
Yeah.
be without the video, but from the, yeah,
Mm.
from,
Yeah, I did find actually when we came back into the meeting, my eyes were kind of like, don't open me, don't go into the light.
yeah. Yes, so
So
whether we are recording it
it's
now,
okay. I
but
can
we
handle
are absolutely free. We are absolutely free with anything, with any choice. So if the eyes want to stay closed,
it.
they stay closed.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, but it's different with the video as well.
It is. It is. Which is interesting in itself, isn't it? Mm.
I'm writing, I mean, I have been writing my first text in Polish, which is
Mm.
about to be premiered at the end of August, but I haven't done much work, much creation the last months. So I don't know if it will be premiered as it's planned. But what I want to say is that the first three sentences of this very creation, like it's difficult to translate, but let me just try to do it.
Mm.
My name is Doma. My eye is within darkness. I see more, more, and more and more, but it's not exactly this, but it's in, like, it's more and new and again and more. And Doma is a name which has came to me when I began this creation. And Doma, I checked it, like in Polish, dom is home, and doma in Slovak is to be at home.
Wow.
Yeah, doma.
Mm.
And it's a female name. It's like it's she. Yeah. Anyway, I guess the
That's pretty
conversing within darkness is about to be.
cool. Yeah, I like that. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm.
Hmm. It makes me think of everybody always talks about the light. Um, and I was listening to this lady once who had these premonition reincarnations since she was a child. And it was interesting because when she described the place she goes into before she sees anything, it's always darkness. She said it's only within the darkness that I ever get any visions of what is to become. So that was relevant to me at the time because it was the first person I'd come across in my research and that really praised the darkness and talked about the importance of it for their experience and experience, what they did. Yeah. I know we talked last time about the eyes and how prominent the eyes are with taking over the other senses. So it could be some of that too.
At some point in the beginning of this writing, I felt a very intense physical hunger for darkness. You know, it was like really, really like the like hunger with thirst. It was really here, like the kind of the desire for. And I
And
guess
when was it?
I don't know when I started writing Doma maybe a year ago. I mean,
Okay.
the title of the whole thing is Wieczna Niewiadoma, which is also a play of kind of words. It's I was thinking of how to translate it into English, but it's something around eternal unknown. But niewiadoma, it's the unknown. It's the female form for the unknown, and then niewiadoma. I put a letter A in brackets. And when you read the whole thing, it's niewiadoma, it's the unknown she, eternal unknown she. And if you take out the A, it's um, the blind, the blind in the sense of the not seeing with the eyes. But it's not, it's because, yes, niewidoma.
Hmm.
This is how you say it in Polish.
You're gonna have to repeat the last bit. You have to repeat the last bit
Yes, well,
because you broke up on me. I missed it.
nie,
I got to the bit where you said if you take out the
if you take the A
so if you
out,
take out the A, what happens?
it's the not seeing one, the blind, the one who doesn't see with the eyes, because it's related to the eyes.
I'm not hearing because you cut out on me again.
Yeah.
It's the not seeing as far as I heard.
Yeah, it's the one not seeing, it's the blind, it's the one who is not present through the external vision, through the vision within the eyes, doesn't have access to the vision through the eyes.
Mm. And what inspired you to write this?
I guess she within. I need
Mm.
to probably to check when it all started, but I started writing it here, back in Poland, and it's
Mm.
the she within. It's the she within, and much as she's very, I guess she's partly experiencing a great sense of aloneness. She's in great solitude, and at the same time she talks a lot actually about oneness, about being one with the other. On my website in
Mm.
Polish, the intro text comes from Doma, and then it begins with one. Where do we know each other from? Where have we met? Where do we remember each other? May I call you by name? Well, I don't know. I just feel I may. We don't know each other, and I sense I know you.
Very emotional to me what you said. I'm starting to cry from that, actually.
Thank you, sister. I mean, it's it's very general and it's very kind of like far from the text as such, but it is. And also, she listens into silence, and she hears sounds within the silence. And she also, at some point, hears a lot of violent sounds, the sounds which are coming into her from the external. And she's just like always in a sense of surprised. She's kind of not understanding. She's like not understanding. She sees it's coming into her, but she never she's just so surprised with the shouting, with the violence which is banging into her. It's like beyond any kind of comprehension, any kind of imprehension of hers. So she's kind of receiving it all because she's just like look, like this kind of, she's looking at this. She's not in fear, she's just surprised. She kind of, there is like, she cannot believe. This is also some part. um yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have words. I just feel this. Just feel this deep emotion for what you're saying. It's like I know this, sister. I know this too. Mm. I'm a bit lost for
Actually,
words.
I'm actually writing it all on the black, on the black. I'm not writing. I'm writing it in the computer, but the background is black.
Mm.
Yeah, there is much. It's very friendly darkness actually. Um, yeah, but there is also at some points some kind of a very warm whiteness, warm lightness coming in. And the point is that the transition, the change from the darkness into the light is invisible. It happens, the transformation is invisible, It's just that now we are within a very warm and soothing and soft, kind of spongy lightness. Very round. It's very round, it's very spherical. And very kind of cuddly in many senses. And I guess there within this space, she's talking with the air. I guess she's talking with the air within this space. And they laugh together. And she's also obsessed. She's really obsessed with circling. She keeps walking in circles. She keeps walking in circles.
Is it circles or spirals?
It's circles. It's backwards circles, actually. If I remember, it's backwards circles. It's there is a different word in Polish for circle. Yeah, but in English the translation is the same. I was kind of I was writing I was right I so I kind of I remember that I was writing it before the last summer, because last summer, as part of this creation, as part of this journey, I went to Węciory, which is a place with stone circles. And I spent some days with the stone circles.
Hmm.
And now I opened it on page 128. Well, I don't know if it's the final page. But you know what I do also when I write? I don't give pages to the pages. I don't number the pages. So you just know that it's 100 da 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 because you see it in the document, but you don't see it through the page. And then on this page it says, and maybe she's the darkness. Maybe she herself is darkness. Hmm. And the change from lightness into
Yeah.
darkness is invisible as well.
Of course. Wow, thank you for sharing that with me.
Thank you.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure why, but that just affected me so emotionally. Like I feel what you were just describing, this whole experience of she, as though I understand this. Yeah. I guess it's that it just moves me so emotionally hearing you talk about it. Like there's so much truth in that. Like like it's my experience or something that you're talking about. And it's just one of those things, I guess, that's another Another yes moment with WeAM. I know we discussed this she thing before, and the connection of the she with us and the WeAM, and that's why I got my picture out, which I've stuck on my wall ever since I got it out to show you. So yeah, thank you for sharing that with me.
Thank
It's
you.
affected me in a way, in a big way. And it's obviously because it's part of this that's happening with us. That is, I think that's actually why the visual is difficult, or makes not difficult, but changes things, because okay, this is what's coming to me, because it creates that kind of like I think it's because of what you were saying about being in the darkness as well, but I think too, when to look at you and see you and think to see you visually and go, wow, she's me, is it's kind of like it's a kind of a weird glitchy thing, like to see you and know you're me. um do you know what I mean? Like to be able to look at each other and then have that experience compared to when not looking at each other. And then perhaps that allows us to go within the WeAM space without the eyes recording something in that then the body's going, what the kind of, I don't know, maybe it's that allows us to sink into that dark place you were just describing, that is that place of home, or um yeah. It's interesting, the transition's invisible as well. Because isn't it true, really, that actually the existence is within the dark and the light, within the there and the here, you know what I mean? Like, so in a sense, the difference or is actually in that she hears the sounds from the external, and they're kind of piercing, and they're kind of um what you said about the sounds almost being violent and etc. um it's kind of like, I feel when we sit in this space together, when we sit in the WeAmness, this oneness with us, that my sounds become, my hearing changes, and it becomes sort of super kind of elevated hearing and like a different kind of frequency. I think we talked about this before, but then when little sounds come in from external, whether it's like the cats hitting something, or in my place, the possums doing what they do, or something making a noise, it seems to be extra piercing. Like when we sit in that stillness, in that oneness, um, external sounds do seem that extra kind of piercing, like what you were describing for she. They do for me. I think you said to me once they did for you as well. Because the sensory perception changes all around, actually, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess everything changes.
It does. It reminds me kind of, how you said to me once that about being, it's like being within a different reality within a reality, almost like it's a awareness too of like being in this space that is infinite outside of outside of, but also being a conscious of being. I'm also conscious that I'm Nessie and I'm sitting on a chair and I'm in my room and etc. You know, in some ways, Ola, I feel as though in this connected space, in this place, that there's a sense of being able to be anywhere or everywhere.
And to me, this state is very, in a way, very much everywhere, and
Mm.
at the same time, as if everything, and everything in the sense of the central location. It feels like I am becoming center. I am becoming center within which the everything is, the everything
Mm.
am. As if when I am this very center, kind of, I am allowing this everything, allowing not in the sense of giving any kind of permission, because this is not a permission kind of based reality, but allowing in the sense of
Mm.
embracing,
Yes.
like holding, like you hold a baby.
Mm. 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 So tell me if this is similar for you too, Ola, but just then for a second when I opened my eyes and I saw you, I felt um I felt almost like I could feel you, but from like as though, you know, like in as if I'm sitting here now, I feel myself. I feel the internal of myself. But I opened my eyes and I looked at you, and it's almost like I could feel you, but from inside of you. Yeah,
Mm.
that's an interesting feeling.
Well, to me, nothing changes, like nothing changes in the sense that my first sentence about you was that you're me. And it's like I see you, and at the same time, it's kind of I see you, I see Ness. And at the same time, if you ask this question, well, she's me, you're me. Somehow,
Mm,
it's kind of more understandable to my sense to say she is me.
mm,
There is a bit difference between she is me, like she talking, me talking about you,
mm,
and you are me. This I feel the second one more conceptual.
mm. Yeah, I get that totally.
I feel the sense the first one more like organic truth, just truth.
Mm, yeah.
Now, when I
Mm,
was when I was when I was within this experience for the first time, I didn't recognize this. I guess it's kind of it's now this differentiation is coming. But yes, I look at you, I see you, I know your ness, and I see me, I see the difference, and I see no difference. I perceive the difference, and I perceive no difference. I see
yes.
the difference, and I sense.
I know. I know. I hear you. Same. Same. Mm, mm. Yeah, and I agree with you on the statement that you said of she is me, because I find the same with you. That's what comes to me naturally too when I look at you. She is me.
Mm.
Mm.
And she's
And
there.
it's still kind of like, hey, what
The
was that you said?
she is there behind you. We talked about she
Oracle.
in your painting, on your painting.
Yeah, that's the first painting I did. She came through. Um, and everybody I show that painting to always tells me that she looks alien. She doesn't look human. She looks from beyond. So, which I always took as a compliment because I've always kind of considered myself an alien of some form. And I showed a friend of mine recently who's a very realist painter. He paints beautiful, beautiful artwork. It's very real. He's not abstract at all. And I showed him a picture of this because I'd taken a picture to show you. And I had it on my phone when I saw him, and knowing he's an artist and he's telling me about his paintings. I said, I want to show you my first painting I did of she. And I showed him this, and he went, oh, 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 like he had a very hard time looking at her
Uh-huh.
because she's so not realistic in the way that his eye sees and paints art in the realistic what realism is. Yeah.
the way he perceives reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Which was interesting to me to see his response. Actually, the momentarily I got a little bit offended on she's behalf, but I quickly overcame that because I understood what kind of came to me after that was this understanding of of who she is and how certain people are not going to be able to relate to her, not going to be able to see her really. Um, in the expansiveness that she is. So, yeah,
What's there
yes.
behind her? What's there behind her?
Um, I don't really know. It's blue. It's just kind of, can you see her?
Yes, yes, yes.
It's just kind of like blueness in the background. I don't know if it's space or what it is. I always kind of felt like, I know she just appeared. I didn't consider to paint her. She's just what came out. As when I write my poems and stuff, I don't sit down with a specific idea in mind. I never do that with creativity. It just kind of flows out of me. Um, and like I said to you, I did have a lot of other paintings where this mysterious female shows up throughout them. I couldn't find them. And it turns out that I know where they are. I just haven't, I have to go get them. So I'm glad they're not lost. I wondered what happened to them, but it'll be interesting to see when I get them because I haven't looked at them in years and years. Yeah,
You know, I'm not a painter, but this is what I do. I kind
yeah,
I buy the base, circular base, and I take
mm,
a paint and I go on. I just go on.
yeah.
Yeah, here is the second one. I have several ones. Like,
Okay, cool.
yeah, it's the one job what.
Yeah, I like that. That's often how my backgrounds start. But yeah, or sometimes, that's like that last portal one I did. There's nothing else to add to it. It just is as it is. Mm. Yeah, well, there's definitely something with this whole she situation. And in writings too, I mean, we started talking about your writings relative to this. I have some writings relative to we and also she, in various forms of kind of actually mostly the theme when I think on it, really, is like a knowing and understanding that she is always present and never far away from me or removed from me in a sense, but also is as well, because there's a lot of things I've written relative to kind of longing for her and um and missing her and that same kind of feel of home, like, but knowing, you know, or even some of them sort of say things like, I'm sure you're laughing at me for I'm sure you're laughing at me um for missing you or longing for you because, surely it's, I know that I know there's no need for that, but it still is in a sense. Yeah.